Good morning and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here today with Chuckles and Fred, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is her ability to understand and respond to her obedience commands. The correction and the motivation that we give the puppies when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of that leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves the left hand free to give any correction that you might need. And the only correction that we give is a little tug and let go on their training collar. And that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Chuckles is going to come home with her very own training collar, and you're going to be taught how to use that properly during your follow-up training session. Now, she is sitting very nicely at Fred's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise is one of the most important exercises, and that is heeling. Heeling is proper walking on a leash with her shoulders even with your left leg, and the command is Chuckles heel. At this point, Chuckles has a job to do, and that is to stay right with your left leg. And if you notice, when Fred stopped walking, she's been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for her next command. So this makes walking your dog a pleasure. When you're walking down the street, you have a dog that's walking with you, not dragging you. And when you stop walking, whether it's to cross traffic or talk to a neighbor, she sits nicely at your left to wait for her next command. And the next command that they're going to demonstrate for you is the stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, it is a one-word command. This helps to develop self-control and maturity in these puppies and can be worked on outside as well as inside. When Fred returns back to her, she's being taught to remain seated as he walks all the way around her and ends up all the way back around at heel position. So everything starts and stops at heel, and when you're going to walk out of the heel, you have to tell her what you want her to do. And she's doing a great job. So remember, Chuckles heel. The sit should be automatic. If she doesn't sit automatically, you're going to tell her no sit. She's doing a good job. Old Englishes are herding dogs, not obedience dogs, but she's done a good job. So Fred leaves her in another sit stay. And this time, instead of returning all the way back around to her, he's going to call her. The command is Chuckles come, and she comes right in front and sits facing Fred's knees, and then she goes back to heel and back sitting. And this eliminates her jumping all over you. So when you call her, you want to keep your upper body erect, and you want to call her in and have her sit right in front of you. It's so beautiful out here today, and she's doing such a great job. Fred leaves her again in a stay, walks out to the end of the training leash and turns to face her. And then he uses her name in a happy voice to call her in. She came right in, a little wiggle there, and sat. And back to heeling and back sitting. Perfect. And now we're going to set up to do our down commands. And all of these commands transfer over to good behavior in your home. If you practice your commands indoors as well as outdoors, you get good indoor behavior as well as outdoor behavior. Now this exercise is the down from heel position, so with your dog seated at your left, you take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and give the one-word command to down and then stay. The long down stay, when you're practicing at home, start out with a young dog like this at about 2 minutes, and you're going to slowly work up to 5 minutes. You're going to be able to lengthen out your time and your distance. When Fred returns back to her, he will walk all the way around her again like he did on the sit stay, and she should remain lying there. He's going to return to her shoulders, and then he's going to give her another command. And they're going to demonstrate that down from a heel position one more time. Now if you notice, she's always seated before we give her the down. And you can see how long she's comfortably holding it, probably for about 1 minute, and then lengthen it out from there. This time Fred will call her out of that down stay. He talks to her and he praises her on the way in. That's always a happy command. And then back to heel and back sitting. Good job, Chuckles. Now the last command that we're going to demonstrate for you today is your down from a distance. This is a little bit harder command because you're not right next to the dog. With her seated, you give her the stay command. You walk out to the end of the leash and turn to face her. And then you use your right hand to give the command. You can see she's getting ready to do it. And Fred said no down, and she went right down. That was perfect. Now we have demonstrated for you all of Chuckles' formal on-leash obedience commands, her heeling, her automatic sit, her stays, her down from a distance, and her come. We will have a packet of information for you when she comes home. She's done a great job, and thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.